actually, that makes sense because I feel like it is really,
Want to just switch back to your Jupyter session real quick?
yeah, let me.
So right there under file to the left, see the upload button.
Is it this one? Ah, very nice. Okay, okay, good.
But it
Okay.
hasn't always been there, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
So this is also like our nurse staff and our fellow colleague Kelly Rowland. They heavily continuously update and refine our Jupyter notebook to make it more friendly for our users. So a lot of times new features get added and we're not like, oh, when did this come in? So
mm-hmm.
we
So yeah, but actually now that I see this here, I'm like, that may have been there and I just haven't used it in a long time. But um yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. But I don't think you could do like a whole folder. I think you'd probably have to do like couple files or something at a time. So maybe you'd want to like make a folder on NERSC and then get your like slowly move your data. And I don't know how that would work with like large amounts of data either. You might have to check on that.
from that, you
Okay.
might need to use like Globus for larger scale transfer or
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this quiz, I spent a lot of time the last 2 days trying to figure out. I think there might be some weird timing settings on this quiz, and I promise I tried to change them. So if the question comes by and it's really fast and it's like, oh, you have 30 seconds to answer, I apologize. It's not supposed to, but something it like made this quiz one of these weird. Let me make sure this is all reset. Um, oh, there we go. Okay, if anyone still needs that. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Uh, ooh, nice. Okay, fantastic. Okay, yeah. So I think it might be kind of quick. Sometimes it'll be like you have 30 seconds, and uh, hopefully you will be able to participate. Okay. Yeah, it's so quick. I don't understand. How is anyone supposed to? Oh, okay, you do have some more time now. Oy. Okay, so yeah, I think it's funny because I used to have I think the answer originally that I thought was true was this maybe, but you can compile code on a login node, but you should make sure that you're not uh asking for like a ton of resources when you do compile it. So it is okay to compile code on a login node. Okay. Oh, for the really quick thing is like just to read the question. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so we use something called LMOD. So if you miss that or you need a refresher, go back to the presentation that Justin gave about LMOD. So remember, there's a little bit of a difference between modules and packages. Modules are something that like NERSC has created to that is really optimized for our system. Conda is a package manager, and you can use and I think Conda is probably a module. So I think you have to load Conda or actually that may not be true. Maybe you don't have to load Conda module. I don't remember. But Conda is a package manager, so it's used a little bit differently than like these modules, which are like the various libraries and codes that are all packaged and available to use specifically on Perlmutter. You may use a combination of LMOD and Conda. Okay. Hmm. Very confused by this. What is happening? What happened? Oh my God. Mentimeter has changed a lot of things because they want you to start paying for things. Oh, I wonder if I'm not allowed to use because I don't have like the paid version and there was a bunch of questions that require what's paid content now. What happened? Okay, weird. Okay, so yeah, the number of nodes requested is definitely one of the key factors. And then the other one was number of minutes requested. I think this is one of the ones where it's just set up to not give you enough time, and I wasn't able to change it, so I apologize. Um, so we call the combination of the number of nodes requested and the number of minutes requested is kind of like the job shape. So you could think of it as, like the area that it takes up on the machine because it's, number of nodes times the number of time or whatever, right? So some combination of those two parameters will change, like how can it get fit in best to the scheduler? That's why what we usually tell people is to try to be as accurate as possible. Like if you know exactly how many nodes you need and you know your job's going to take 27 minutes to run, like don't ask for an hour. Ask for 30 minutes, right? Because it's just most likely going to be better to request a smaller amount of time. It's easier to kind of squish it in somewhere. We also, so, and I don't remember if this was discussed, but Slurm, there's essentially sort of two processes that are running. There's like a main scheduler that is trying to schedule everything into, you can imagine like a big like calendar or something. And it's like, okay, at this time we'll be able to fit this job, at this time we'll be able to fit job. But then there's also something called a backfill scheduler. So what this thing is doing is every couple minutes, I think it's about every somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes. It's going through and it's saying, hey, this job that we thought was going to take a really long time, it failed, or someone canceled, or something, or it completed early, or something like that. So why don't we squish in this other job real fast? So it's basically backfilling to see, okay, now suddenly these resources that I didn't think were going to be available are available. So sometimes smaller jobs get squished in really fast, and so it can feel, or like even like a bigger job that's for a short amount of time, so like more nodes but a small amount of time, or one node for a longer amount of time, can get squished in. Um, I think sometimes, day of the week, I feel like is the one that like maybe could matter. Like, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I submit my jobs at like 3 in the morning on Fridays or something like that. And then, it's unclear if those really matter. It may be the case that like, especially over the summer, sometimes it's like, oh, people are on vacation. Like, maybe no one's using the system right now. And so maybe, but it's hard to say. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case. We don't have, I mean, we may know the user seniority, but we don't, that there's no absolute zero impact to that. And of course, we don't quantify the importance of the science. That's something we don't even know how to do. Okay. Okay. So I think what I did wrong is, okay. Okay, this is kind of a open-ended question. And I think that I apologize, I don't think 30 seconds is long enough to type in anything. Um, but if you want, you could type in the chat, or you feel free to type into this and then you can unmute yourself or anything like that if you have any ideas on how you might work towards optimizing your job scripts. What? What was it looking for? There's no correct answer because there is no correct answer. Oh my God, what the hell? Can you guys see anything?
Is gray or green grayed out?
Okay, okay. Well, let me just read what it says. So, analyzing previous resource utilization, requesting necessary resources, and aiming for efficiency. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Less nodes. Sure, if you can do, you want to remember, like, we don't want you to necessarily to use less nodes. If you don't need all the nodes and you're able to run what you need to run, that's fine. OpenMP, great. Yeah, use OpenMP. Interactive job submission before submitting production batch script. That is like chef's kiss. Yes, please do this. Please interactively work on your scripts and then submit your production run. That is perfect. Run first on debug to test and iterate before running on regular. Great. That's another chef's kiss answer. Perfect. Love it. Okay. All right. I apologize for how I'm gonna redo this one, Charles. I think this one has always caused problems. Oh, yeah. This one is one of those ones that's reworded. I also should change how it's worded. I don't need, is this a true or false statement? I don't need MFA when logging into Perlmutter through Jupyter. False, right. So if you wrote true, it might be because this is worded weirdly, but you do need MFA when logging into Perlmutter. So the statement that you don't need MFA is false. So if you said true, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, it's true that you do need MFA. That's correct. Okay, let's see. One more question. I don't know what this question is. Oh, okay. So, yep, you can get a terminal, you can get a Python notebook, you can get an R notebook, you can get a Julia notebook. You can get a C++ notebook because those don't exist. And the JavaScript generator, unfortunately, it would be very cool if it was integrated into Jupyter, but it is not. It is it's in our docs. So docs.nurse.gov. But yeah, there's a terminal and then there's a bunch of notebooks that you can access in Jupyter. Perfect. Okay, and this is kind of the same question that we asked you on day one. How are you feeling now that we've completed new user training? Spoiler alert, we've completed new user training. Yay, okay, good. We see lots of people excited. Not too many people nervous. If you're still feeling nervous, feel free to reach out to us and let us help you because we think that you are all well prepared, ready to be using Perlmutter. And remember, it is a very robust system. You can't hurt the system, right? And most likely you can't really hurt yourself or your collaborators or anything like that. There's a lot of protections in place. You're not going to accidentally delete everyone's stuff or anything like that. So but if you're feeling nervous, definitely reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you. I have in the past sat on Zoom with people, helping them do whatever they need to do. There's no problem doing that. So, we want you to feel like you're ready to go. And especially if you're a summer student, we want you to make the most of the summer and you don't have that much time. So it's better to ask for help, than to sit there and wait and hope you figure it out when you could have just asked us and then we can just get you on your way. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Let me stop sharing. Um, and yeah, like we said, just reach out to us if you need anything.
Okay. Now, before we leave, if everyone could take a moment to complete the day one and day two surveys, and then we're going to wrap up with just a demo of our new user training Canvas course. And over the next week, you will be given invites to see if you would like to join the Canvas course and give us some feedback on the course structure, as well as earn micro credentials and badges that you can display on your professional network and profiles. But first, if you could take maybe about 5 minutes to work on the survey, and we'll go into Canvas, and then we'll be done. Does that sound good, Libby?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, I think what we can do now is just go ahead and, before we do, end, let's take a look at a few things that we have on the horizon. And first off is, introducing all of you to, Nurse recently, has launched a new learning management system to help facilitate and advance some of our training events. Over the next week, you'll all be given an invite to this new user training course. And a lot of the course has a couple of interactives and materials that we have covered, but an opportunity that you'll get upon completion is for each of the modules, being able to earn a digital badge or micro-credential. And if you complete all of the modules, you'll get a badge. And these micro-credentials can be displayed on your professional networks or social media. It's very similar to other credentials and certifications, like if you're on LinkedIn. So this is a new approach that we're incorporating into our training to try to get our users some of the best resources and materials that are available. So over the next week, you will all be receiving invites for you to invite you to attend, review, and give us some feedback on this new initiative that we have launched. Okay. And a couple other things is please make sure you'll have access to the Q&A document for the next couple of days or week. And we'll follow up with any questions that you add. So if, after today, you have a few questions that pop up over the next couple of days, please hop into the Q&A doc and we'll make sure we get those answered. And the final PDF of the questions will be on the event webpage for you to access as well. And once that is available in the weekly email, we always announce once the videos, the resources are available for you to go to review as well. But other than that, do we have any remaining questions on one of the Q&A? Post the Q&A link one more time. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, we want to, thank you all for attending over the last 2 days. And, if you are new to Nurse, welcome. Please do reach out to us. Libby and I are very easy to reach out to on Slack or, email, and also submit a ticket as well. We're here to help. And we want you to make use of your time on using Nurse resources. So again, welcome and thank you all for attending the user training. Have a great Friday, everyone. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. So you're trying to get away from me?
No, I just didn't have my coffee this morning.
Yeah, I only had 1 cup. I normally have 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, feel free to reach out if you have
Sure.
any questions.
thank you. Yeah, I'm here for long and I'm a postdoc, so
Okay, cool.
I'll
Awesome.
probably reach out
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to seeing
over
you
the
more.
next year or so.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks again.
All
See you. I gotta run.
Thank you.
You are more than welcome. Have a great day.
You too.